Welcome to Your Delicious Life. Every week we try to take a look at life from a different perspective and either learn something new or get reminded of something that we already knew. So today's title, the episode of today, or the title of today's episode is The Gift Moms Can Give Themselves. Now, Mother's Day is coming up this Sunday, and of course, there's a lot of emphasis on what to get your mom. But what about us moms? What gift can we give to ourselves? And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So I think, first of all, the role of mom can come in many different ways. Moms could be a birth mom, a stepmom, an adoptive mom, or really any sort of maternal figure in someone's life. It doesn't really need to be defined other than by your own definition of it. And the thing is, we often have mom as one of our roles. I mean, we take on many other roles in our lives, from aunt and sister to friend or daughter, grandma. I mean, the roles are endless. And then in the workplace, maybe you have a job title that is another role that you follow. Or maybe you have so many job titles that you really need a postcard to list them all on. Or perhaps you consider yourself a domestic goddess. Or when people ask you, what do? You say, I do lunch. And you like it. Whatever it is, whatever roles you guys have. The thing is, it doesn't matter what they are or the title of them. The point is, when we have these roles in our lives, we want to give 100% of ourselves to them. And, generally speaking, us ladies aren't the type to be doing stuff half-assed. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it right. We're going to do it all the way. And the thing is, when we serve in all these different roles in our lives, sometimes we get depleted. And I kind of think about it, you know how they always say on the airplane, people always use this analogy that you have to don your own mask prior to assisting others? Well, they tell you that on the airplane because you'll die if you don't. But they often say, other gurus and whatever, will refer to life that way, is that we have to take care of ourselves before we can really help other people. And I think that really makes sense. And one of the ways I sort of look at it is like a cell phone. I mean, you have your phone and it has a charged battery at the beginning of the day, and then you open your apps and you do different things and you make phone calls, send text messages, go on social media, send emails, whatever it is you do. And with all these apps open, slowly the battery starts to drain. And at the end of the day, you have to recharge the battery. Well, we're sort of like that. We're all charged up, ready to go at the beginning of the day, but as we give our attention to these different roles in our lives, these apps, the battery starts to get depleted. But what are we doing to recharge it? What are we doing to make sure that our battery doesn't drain to 0% and the phone dies? And that's what I want to share with you guys today. 2 gifts that you can give yourself to keep that battery recharged so you can really help those that you want to. So the first one is to recharge your battery. Now, whether you like to do that by just simply relaxing, maybe recharging your battery for you is a glass of wives and the Real Housewives of who cares where. And it's just a chance to just think of nothing and just watch pretty outfits and blingy jewelry go by. Maybe you love to watch a cooking show competition, or maybe you like to get in the kitchen yourself and create masterpieces. It could be reading a book. It could be sitting down with a great magazine and just enjoying flipping through the whole thing and looking at each of the pages and reading the different articles. Maybe you have a passion and it's something that you love to do. Maybe it's DIY projects or photography or running or something like that. Now, I want to be clear here. If you love running and you really enjoy it, then absolutely, that can totally be a way to recharge your batteries. Some people talk about that runner's high and you're just in your zone. I hate running. I always say, if you see me running, you should run too, because something is chasing me. So for me, that wouldn't recharge my batteries. Of course, yeah, you got to move your body and work out and all that kind of stuff. But if that's not something that recharges your battery, don't put it in this category, right? Only if it really gets you feeling zen and happy and recharged and ready to go again. That's the kind of activities I'm talking about. So if for you, it is something as simple as just watching Outlander and enjoying it and just no one talking and disturbing you while you watch it, or if it is going out for that run, or taking photographs, or spray painting that crazy thing you bought at a garage sale, whatever it is, that's up to you. But you've got to find what that thing is and make sure you get it into your day or your week. Sure, we may not be able to do these things every single day, but maybe there's something little that you can do every day for yourself. I was chatting with my trainer, Nick, this morning, and she said some of the best advice she ever got from her pediatrician, her child's pediatrician, was to take 30 minutes a day for herself. And I thought that's really great advice, because usually we can find 30 minutes, and we have to make time for that. And you are important. If you're filling all these roles of mom and at your job or in your home or with your friends or other causes you care about, you deserve 30 minutes for yourself to recharge your batteries. So schedule it in, make it happen, find a way to get it in there, because it's just as important as everything else that we do. Now, the other gift that you can give yourself is to close the other apps. You know, our phones definitely work slower when we have all these different apps open, and it drains the battery. Well, we're kind of the same way too. You know, if you've got so many different things on the go and your head is bouncing from one thing to the other, you're going to drain your battery. So instead, try and focus on that one thing. I know my post this last little bit has really been about focus. I guess that's something I need to work on if I'm talking about it all this much. But I think it's important, because if you can close all the other apps and just focus on that one thing at a time, that will allow you to give it everything that you want to give to it. And then when you're done, whatever that is, you can move on to the next thing. You can close that app and open the next one. And then you can give 100% to that, instead of giving 30% to all these different places along the way, and nothing's really turning out the way you hoped it would. So give those gifts to yourself. Give yourself the gift of being able to recharge your own batteries, and doing it in a way that feeds you, that fills your soul, that really helps you relax and kind of get back to that Zen place. And then give yourself the gift of focusing and closing all the other apps so you can really be where you are in this moment. I know you can do a billion things at one time. I had to laugh when they did that whole thing with that CNN interview of the man whose children came into the room and then his wife came and grabbed them. And then they did the reverse one, where if it was a mom that had been on a phone call, and you know, it's the usual stuff at first, and then a toilet comes in and she's scrubbing it, and then she's stirring some pod and making dinner, and she's doing all these things. So, and it was funny because it was true. So I know you can do a million things at one time. You know you can do a million things at one time, but just do one at a time. Multitasking's dumb. It's not even real. So just do one thing at a time and focus on it and be amazing at it, because that's what you really want. You don't want a badge for being able to do a million things at once. You want a badge for doing a million things great, one at a time. So if you want to show up in this world and come in at your best, you have to be charged. I hope you have an amazing Mother's Day. I hope you're able to spend it with someone who has been a mother to you in your life, and whether in title or in action. And I hope you celebrate and enjoy them and tell them how much they mean to you. And if you are a mom, I hope you receive that as well. And I also hope you schedule out some time for yourself. Go and have a delicious life, you guys. Happy Mother's Day. I will see you again next week.